Welcome back to Englopod, the podcast where you build confidence and shape your future. Today, we are going to talk about something that connects people all over the world. We are talking about the magic of movies and films.
It's a wonderful topic. I mean, everyone loves a good story. Whether you are in Tokyo or Brazil or Berlin, movies are, a universal language.
They really are.
So our mission today is to explore the full journey of a film. We'll look at the experience of going to the theater, the huge army of people who make the movie, how to describe what we see, and finally, how we watch movies at home today.
That sounds like a perfect plan. Even with all the technology we have now, I still think there's something special about leaving the house to go watch a film. It just feels like an event.
I agree completely. So let's set the scene. You want to see a new movie, you leave your house and go to a special building. In English, we use two names for this place. We call it the cinema or the movie theater.
I use both words. Sometimes I say, I'm going to the cinema, and sometimes I'm going to the movie theater.
They're the same place, right? Yes, exactly the same. It is the place where you pay to watch a film on a big screen. It's a shared experience. You're there with strangers, but you're all feeling the same emotions together.
Right. But before we get to the emotions, we have to get inside. When I arrive, the first thing I look for is the place to buy my ticket.
The place is called the box office.
The box office. That's an interesting name.
It is. It's where you buy your ticket. But here's a pro tip. We also use the phrase box office to talk about money. If a movie is very popular and sells many tickets, we say, it was a success at the box office.
Ah, so it's a physical place, but also a way to measure success. That's
Yeah.
good to know. Okay, so I have my ticket. Now I walk inside to find my seat. That huge room always feels exciting.
That room is called the auditorium. It's usually dark, cool, and has many rows of seats. And of course, at the front, there is the most important thing,
The big screen.
the big screen.
That's why we pay the money. It's so much bigger than the television in my living room. But honestly, I cannot sit down without one specific thing. I need a snack.
Let me guess. You eat popcorn.
Absolutely. For me, the smell of popcorn is the smell of the cinema. Salty or sweet, it doesn't matter. It's a ritual.
It really is. It is corn that pops when it gets hot.
Yeah.
The classic movie snack. So picture this. You're in the auditorium, you have your popcorn, the lights go down, but the movie doesn't start immediately.
That's true, and I'm actually happy about that. I love the short videos they show before the main movie.
You mean the trailers?
Yes, the trailers. I know they're just advertisements for other movies, but they get me so excited. Sometimes I want to watch the next movie before I finish the first one.
A trailer is an art form. It has to show you the whole feeling of a movie in just 2 minutes. It tries to convince you to come back.
And if you're really famous or really lucky, you might go to a very special screening before anyone else.
That is called a premiere. A premiere is the very first time a movie is shown to the public. Usually a big party with famous people.
Speaking of famous people, we watch the actors on the screen, but I know there are hundreds of people working behind the cameras. It takes a village to make a movie.
It does. It's a huge operation. Let's break down the people who make the movie. We should start with the leaders.
The bosses.
Exactly. First, you have the director. Think of the director as the captain of the ship. They are the creative boss. They tell the actors what to do. They decide the colors, the mood, the camera angles.
But the captain needs someone to buy the ship and pay for the fuel.
That's a great way to put it. That person is the producer. The producer is the business boss. They organize the money. They hire the people. They make sure everyone does their job on time.
So the director is the creative dreamer and the producer is the realistic organizer.
Correct. But neither of them can do anything without a story.
Ah, that's where the writer comes in.
Yes, the screenwriter. This is the person who writes the script. The script is the book that has every word the actors say. Without a screenwriter, the actors would just stand there in silence.
That would be a very boring movie. Okay, let's talk about the people we actually see. The faces on the poster, we call the group of all actors the cast, right?
Yes, the cast. And within the cast, there's a hierarchy.
At the top, we have the big stars.
We call them the lead actor or lead actress. The story is about them. They have the most lines in the script.
But a movie needs more than just one or two people. There are usually friends or enemies or family members.
We call those the supporting actors. They are very important. They help tell the story, but they're not the main focus.
And then there are the people in the background. You know, the people sitting in a restaurant or walking down the street. They don't speak, but they make the world look real.
We call those people extras. An extra is a person in the background with no speaking lines. It's actually a fun way to see how a movie is made, being an extra.
I have always wanted to do that, just walk past the camera and pretend to be busy. Now, here's a question. In action movies, we see actors jumping off buildings, crashing cars. Surely the famous lead actor isn't doing that.
Usually no. It's too dangerous. If the star gets hurt, the movie stops. So they use a stunt double.
A stunt double.
Yes. This is a professional who looks like the actor. Same hair, same body type, but they are trained to do dangerous actions safely. When you see a big explosion and someone jumping, it is usually the stunt double.
That makes sense. Okay, so we've talked about the people in front of the camera, but we need someone to actually film them.
That is the crew, specifically the cameraman. They operate the camera. They capture the images.
And we can't forget the sound. I think music is half the magic of a movie.
I agree completely. If you watch a scary movie with no sound, it's not scary at all. The person who writes the music is the composer.
Mm-hmm.
And the collection of all the music in a film is called the soundtrack.
A good soundtrack can make you cry or make you feel like a hero.
Okay, let's move inside the story itself. When we, analyze a film, what words do we need?
Well, the most fundamental word is plot. The plot is the story. It is simply what happens in the film.
Simple enough. The plot is the action. But we also need to know where and when. That is the setting. The setting is the time and place. For example, a historical setting means the story happens in the past, maybe in ancient Rome or 1920s New York.
And the talking.
That is dialogue. Dialogue is the conversation between characters. Great dialogue feels like real people talking.
Movies are a visual medium. Directors use different tricks to make us feel things. One of my favorites is when the camera gets really, really close to an actor's face.
That's called a close-up. It is a very powerful technique. When you see a close-up of someone's eyes, you can see their fear, their love, their anger. It creates a real connection.
And what about when everything moves slowly? Like in a sports movie, when the ball is flying through the air.
That is slow motion. The action is much slower than real life. Directors use slow motion to make a moment feel important or dramatic.
Sometimes the story jumps around in time. We might be in the present, and then suddenly we're seeing something from the character's childhood.
That is a flashback. A flashback is a scene that looks back at the past. It usually explains why a character acts the way they do.
And of course, modern movies are full of magic that isn't real. Dinosaurs, spaceships, superheroes flying.
We call those special effects. Today, these are mostly created by computers. They allow us to see things that are, impossible in real life.
I love seeing how technology changes movies. Now, sometimes a movie is so popular that the story doesn't end, they make another one.
Yes, if they make a second part that continues the story, it is called a sequel.
But I've noticed a new trend. Sometimes they make a movie about what happened before the first movie.
That is called a prequel. A prequel shows the history. It answers the question, how did this all start?
And what if they take an old classic movie from 50 years ago and make it again with new actors?
That is a remake. Some people love remakes, and
Hmm.
some people hate them.
And finally, my favorite category. When a movie comes from a book I read.
That's an adaptation. An adaptation is when a story moves from a novel to the screen.
Now let's talk about taste. Everyone likes different things. We call these categories genres. What are the big ones?
Well, if you like excitement, explosions, and fast cars,
Hmm.
you probably like action or thriller movies.
I do enjoy those on a Friday night, but sometimes I just want to laugh.
Then you want a comedy. A comedy is designed to make you laugh.
My partner loves movies that are about love but are also funny.
Ah, that's a very popular genre.
Mm.
The romantic comedy. It is light and happy. On the other side, we have dark comedy, which finds humor in serious or sad subjects.
Speaking of serious, sometimes I want a movie that makes me cry or think deeply.
Then you're looking for a drama. A drama focuses on realistic characters and emotional themes. If it is set in the past, it's a historical drama.
What about when we want to escape reality completely, like starships or wizards?
For future technology in space, we say sci-fi or science fiction. For magic, dragons, and wizards, we call it fantasy.
And for true stories.
If it's a film that documents reality, it's a documentary. If it's a movie with actors playing real famous people, like a movie about a musician or a president, it's called a biopic.
There are so many choices. Horror for getting scared, musicals for singing, westerns for cowboys.
Crime and mystery for solving puzzles. There really is something for everyone.
Okay, this is the part I really want to get into. We have watched the movie, and now we are standing outside the cinema or sitting on the sofa and we are discussing it. We need adjectives.
Yes, describing words are essential. Let's play a little game. Imagine we just watched a new action movie. I loved it, but you hated it.
Okay, I can be the critic, so you liked it.
I didn't just like it, I thought it was brilliant. The story was outstanding.
Really? I disagree. I thought the story was predictable. I knew exactly what was going to happen in the end. No surprises.
Maybe, but the action was gripping. It was compelling. I couldn't look away from the screen during the car chase.
I admit, the action was okay.
Left.
But the dialogue, it was so cheesy. It was corny. It felt silly and, overly emotional.
I thought it was moving. I actually cried at the end. It was very touching.
Wow, we saw a different movie. I thought the ending was far-fetched. I mean,
Yeah.
totally unrealistic. A car cannot fly like that.
It's a movie. It is supposed to be fun. And I thought the concept was original. I have never seen a hero like that before.
Well, I thought the characters were shallow. They had no personality, honestly. I was bored.
And I thought it was hilarious. I laughed so much.
See? This is why movies are great. We can use words like thought-provoking or confusing, brilliant, or boring. It is all about your opinion.
Exactly. And having these words helps you share that opinion in English.
Now, we mentioned this earlier, but the way we watch movies has changed. I don't always go to the cinema. Usually I'm on my sofa.
Yes, the big shift to streaming.
A streaming platform is just an app like Netflix or Disney Plus Proto.
Yes, it's a website or app where you watch movies over the internet.
Yeah.
You pay a subscription fee, and it has changed everything because now we have on-demand viewing.
On demand, so that means I watch what I want when I want.
Exactly. You don't have to wait for the movie to start at 8 p.m. You press play at 8.03 or 8.15. You are in control.
And because we're in control, sometimes we lose control. Have you ever spent a whole Sunday watching 10 episodes of a TV show?
Oh, absolutely. We have a great verb for that. To binge watch.
To binge watch.
It means to consume a lot of content at one time. You finish one episode and you immediately start the next one. It's very addictive.
It is. But there's one thing that ruins the experience. My internet connection is not always perfect.
Ah, the technical problems.
Yes. Sometimes the video stops and a little circle just spins around and around.
That is buffering. To buffer means the video is waiting for the internet data to catch up. It is the most annoying thing about streaming.
I hate buffering, but I do love one specific button on the streaming platform, the button that lets me skip the theme song.
The skip intro button. A
Yeah.
wonderful invention. It saves you time so you can binge watch more.
It's true, but sometimes I spend more time trying to choose a movie than actually watching it. There are just too many choices.
That is why the platforms use an algorithm.
An algorithm.
It's a computer system. It looks at what you watched before. It says, oh, you like that romantic comedy. Here's another one. The algorithm tries to predict what you will like.
Sometimes it knows me better than my friends do.
Mm.
Okay, finally, let's talk about success. When a movie is truly outstanding and original, it might get an award.
Yes. In the movie world, awards are very important for prestige.
Before you win, you have to be suggested for it.
Right. You are a nominee. If 5 actors are suggested for Best Actor, they're all nominees.
And then they open the envelope and announce the winner.
The winner, the person who takes the trophy home. But before the show even starts, there is that big event outside.
The fashion show.
Yes, the red carpet. The stars walk on the red carpet, wear expensive clothes, and talk to reporters. It's a symbol of luxury.
And if they win, they have to go on stage and speak.
That is the acceptance speech. They hold the statue, they cry, and they thank their mother, their agent, and the director.
It's a moment of pure emotion. Wow, we have really covered the whole journey today.
We have. From buying a ticket at the box office to dealing with buffering at home, from the director calling the shots to the stunt double taking the falls.
And we learned how to argue about movies, whether a film is gripping or cheesy, hilarious, or boring.
That's the most useful part. Next time you watch a movie, you can try to describe it in English. Use these adjectives.
I definitely will. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of cinema.
It was a pleasure. And I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. Movies can be big, loud action films or quiet dramas. They can be watched on a huge, big screen or a tiny phone. But the best movies do one thing. They make us feel less alone. So ask yourself, what is the last movie that truly moved you?
That is a beautiful question to end on. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time on Englopod.